What is a fact that can possibly save your life? If you ever almost drown to the point of throwing up water or passing out, even if you feel 100% fine, get to a hospital. Your lungs can unwittingly self-fill up with fluid over the next few hours. Secondary, drowning is no joke. More people definitely need to be aware of the dangers. This is a New Zealand specific one, but all emergency numbers work here. The official number is 111, but 999, 000, 911, etc. will all work. This is so that tourists can still reach emergency services easily. Soy sauce is deadly if consumed in large quantities at once, so no stupid soy sauce dares or challenges, please. Is it because of the sodium? Yes, there was a horrible case where a woman drank like 2 liters to cleanse her body because she read it online. She's dead now. If you're being tied up, puff yourself out as much as possible so it'll be easier to wiggle out of. Tense muscles, inhale deep, and stretch out your arms and legs to make more space. Me and my classmates used to have competitions where we tie each other up with rope. It started out with hands, but it went to full body, and we'd time ourselves on how fast we could get out. It was also good practice for tying someone up since we got to see which methods worked best. I used to pull this trick all the time and get the fastest time. My hands would be really red and there would be lots of marks, but it was worth it. And that, kids, is how I found my fetish. If you get impaled or stabbed, leave the object in and call 911, or your country's equal. That object is keeping all the blood on the inside of your body. If the wound is still bleeding, wrap cloth around the impaled object to try stem the flow of blood. You can look up how to do a donut wrap. It's super quick and easy. If your cloth's saturated with blood, cover it with another. Never take off a bandage. Also, try not to get impaled or stabbed. Real pro tip: when having a heart attack, you don't swallow aspirin, you chew it. Is this real? Gets to the bloodstream faster through the walls of your mouth. Then why don't people always take it that way? Besides, I assume the powder inside tasting bad. Exactly. It tastes like doo-doo. If you smell a fish smell in your house, some people also report a urine-like smell, for no reason, 9 times out of 10 it means there's an electrical fire. I was actually a hero in this situation. I was visiting my sister a number of years back, hanging out on her couch, smelled a smell of urine, with a bit of dead fish mixed in. I asked her what that was. She answered, "It's been here for weeks. We think a rat or a squirrel got trapped in the walls." That didn't sound right to me. A dead animal would smell different. And for whatever reason, I Googled smells like urine. Electrical fire was the first answer. So I sniffed all around the room and found it was coming from the plug of an old lamp. Unplugged it, odor vanished. Instant hero. If you're visiting an unfamiliar location like a cinema or a concert hall, take a few minutes to look around for the nearest exit. Then pick out a second as a backup in case the first becomes blocked or cut off. If something happens, especially in a crowded public place, most people's first instincts are to turn around and head for the main entrance. But this is not always the closest, safest, or easiest way out. 9 times out of 10, there usually will be a closer exit. If the ocean is retreating, there is a tsunami coming. Evacuate the beach immediately. If the animals are running, I'm going to follow them. Maybe they are running because you are following them. When will you stop? There's a tsunami coming, and this dude won't stop chasing me. This is like the worst day ever. If you were ever buried in rubble, earthquake, tornado, building collapse, etc., don't shout. You'll lose your voice and waste energy. Instead, grab a piece of rubble and knock in patterns of 3s. Humans are expert pattern makers and pattern notices. Rescuers will hear the distinctive pattern sound and go towards it. Once you hear people, then use your voice. Make sure you try and get trapped with a pipe nearby. Handcuff yourself to some pipework now and await the collapse of the building. All buildings will fall down eventually. You just need to be patient. If you get kidnapped, try to leave as much traces of yourself behind as you can. For example, leave bits of clothing behind or scratch your arms a lot to leave dead skin behind. This way you increase your chances that a search dog could pick up your scent and find you. I watched a crime show once where the victim left her hair everywhere in her abductor's car. She kept pulling strands of hair out. When she was taken to the house of the person who took her, she pulled more hair out, touched everything she could to leave fingerprints behind, and even licked multiple places in the house. She managed to escape, and they found evidence of her all over his car and house. Slam shut case. I wish I could remember her name so I could look her case up. If your car goes into the water, open the door or roll down the windows immediately. If you don't, the pressure differential will hold them shut and you'll have to wait until the car fills up with water. But then my interior will get wet. Have you tried putting it in rice? Keep rice in your car. If it goes underwater, the rice will absorb it and keep you from drowning. And as a bonus, you can eat the rice later. Double check advices in this thread with your own research. Probably the best advice in this thread. Let me check that. Never pull out a gun or any weapon unless you are prepared to kill or die. Weapons escalate the situation to another level. If you have a weapon, intend to use it and risk having it used on you. Like going to the casino, once you buy chips, you've already lost the money. Anything you come out with is extra. Well, panthers attack their prey from behind. If you encounter a wild panther, don't turn back. If you see it, however, it probably wasn't planning on attacking. Throw some sunglasses on the back of your head. But if I turn around, then he's in front of me, so he has to circle back around before he's legally allowed to attack. And if he doesn't attack within 10 minutes, you're legally allowed to leave. So I'm just supposed to just stand there face to face staring at the panther? This obviously won't work all the time, but if someone grabs you by the arm, don't pull away. Twist your arm instead. Your arm goes nearly all directions, but their wrists won't. What if they turn their wrists again so it's easier for them? Kick them in the groin. What if they have any nuts? Kick someone else in the nuts. Escape in the confusion. Never ever place an extension ladder on a smooth concrete floor and climb it unless the feet have rubber pads attached to them. Otherwise, this is a very real risk that as you climb higher, your weight will cause the feet to slide out from under you because there is very little friction between aluminum and smooth finished concrete. I've climbed ladders countless times, and then one day I did this and it almost killed me. Shattered my wrist and almost broke my back. Life forever altered. Do not inflate your life jacket before exiting the aircraft. This is especially true in case of an emergency water landing. As any air safety expert will tell you, inflating your life jacket inside a rapidly submerging airplane will cause you to float up to the cabin ceiling, unable to move without help. The right thing to do is take a deep breath and swim out of the airplane with your life jacket still deflated. Only when you're safely out of the plane should you pull the inflation cord. If you're lost in the wilderness and need something sharp to hunt, defend with, make a spear by hardening a soaked branch, stick over a fire. The water prevents the stick from burning, but the heat from the fire forces the branch to condense and harden, making them more durable. When you're in Australia, mostly on beaches, do not touch tiny adorable octopus with blue rings. It's poisonous and will usually kill you. In fact, don't touch any snakes or spiders or marine life. A lot of it's poisonous, venomous, or will kill you in other ways. Don't let this stop you from coming to Australia though. Most of the humans are pretty nice. Never go to Australia. Got it. No, you can go there, just don't touch anything. Is Australia a stripper? Yes, Australia is a stripper is the best advice. If you have to perform CPR, you can follow the beat of Staying Alive by the Bee Gees or Another One Bites the Dust by Queen. But don't sing Another One Bites the Dust as you do it. It's not what people want to hear. If you have an iPhone, pressing the lock screen button 5 times rapidly will initiate a call to emergency services. Handy for you if you don't want to show you have a phone by removing it from your pocket. It will dial automatically. I accidentally butt dialed 911 because of this. I just tried it and boy did it make a lot of noise. Definitely not one if you want to be discreet. Was on a roller coaster and my phone was in my pocket. The bumps and turns pressed the button 5 times in succession. It was funny because the 3 emergency contacts and the police called twice to see if I was okay. The police must have been terrified at first because I heard that they can hear everything that is happening while they call you. They called me the first time when I was on the roller coaster and everyone was screaming. If you're buried in an avalanche, you won't be able to tell which way is up. You should spit. Gravity will carry the spit down. Dig the opposite way so that you can escape. If you call 911 even though you don't have signal, it will work. Airplane depressurizes and the masks drop. Put your damn mask on first as instructed. At 35,000 feet, you have 30 to 60 seconds of useful consciousness. Make it count. So leave it off for a painless death. If you've got a wound on you, even a bug bite, and see a red streak from it following on one of your veins, you have blood poisoning. If stranded in the wilderness without food, do not eat mushrooms as a food source. 90% of them will kill you or make you violently ill. And some species of poisonous mushrooms imitate or look nearly indistinguishable from edible ones. So unless you are a mycologist, the fungus are not fungi in a survival situation. There are old mushroom eaters and there are bold mushroom eaters, but there are no old, bold mushroom eaters. Lava is very hot, don't touch it. Forbidden snack. Lava is nothing compared to Hot Pockets. Just drink a fire-resistant potion, eh?